Hi everyone, the Island Stacker here. Welcome to another video. Today I wanted to discuss the pros and cons, I guess, of holding precious metals in the long term, looking for potential wealth growth over other means. So I know precious metals are generally held as a hedge against inflation and things like that, and as a store of wealth for the long term. But recently I've been thinking around potential long-term returns. So I did a quick comparison for the three precious metals against some general ETFs, just to get an idea of the rate of returns over a 10-year period, just to give some examples. So I'll start with precious metals. So I'll start with silver. I know silver's been taking a bit of a battering over recent times. So over a 10-year period, silver has returned a positive of 88% over that 10-year period. So it sounds like a relatively good rate of return in that aspect, but compared to some of the other assets, it's not really much in the way of return over a 10-year period. I did have a look at platinum. Again, platinum's been taking a bit of a beating over the last 20 years. So platinum over a 10-year period actually has a negative return of 12%, which surprised me when I looked. I thought platinum would have had at least a positive return, even if it was only small, but a negative 12% return over the long period. So I know I've only got one piece of platinum. Sorry, just let me grab that quickly. So yeah, I've only got this 1 ounce of platinum. So I've only had this a couple of years. So hopefully it's not depreciated too much. But yeah, over the long term, platinum clearly isn't the metal to be holding. And then gold, obviously the star of the precious metal world at the moment, with all the recent gains over the last couple of weeks. Gold shot up in value. So even with that pretty steep increase over the last couple of years, especially with the geopolitical circumstances, gold has gone up 134% over that 10-year period. So pretty decent. I said like 50% more than silver over that same time period. So not a bad return. I know it's not necessarily held for its growth over the long period, as in real returns afterwards, but just to give you a comparison. And to compare that with, I looked at a global index fund, so something that tracks the entire world, and then the good old S&P 500, just to get some ideas of that compared to the precious metals. I know precious metals have a differing value terms. So obviously there's your generic bullion stuff and then there's the sort of NUMI and semi-NUMI stuff. So like this 2022 proof platinum jubilee and 2017. So there is differences in the values compared to the spot price in some of these coins, but generally I'm just talking about bullion prices. So yeah, silver 88% return, platinum negative 12%, and gold positive 134%. Now, a global index fund over that same period, so like I said, that tracks the world, returned 203% over the 10-year period. And the S&P 500 for that same time period gave a massive 337% return over that same 10 years. So quite a big difference compared to gold and silver over that period. So this is the thing I've been thinking lately. If those that have seen my last video around selling some of my just my random bits and pieces of gold. So for those that have seen that, I have sold those 4 coins. So I've made a fair amount. I think roughly around 20% on what I bought the coins for originally. So that gave me just over £1,000 for those 4 coins, which I'm debating what to do with that money when it gets paid to me. I might put that into this year's stocks and shares ISA. So in some of those S&P 500 global index type fund investments, or potentially pay some of that to the mortgage. I know that's not going to give me any return, but it's a guaranteed 5.5%, whatever my current mortgage rate is, off the value of money that I do owe. So just something to consider. I know most people probably don't hold precious metals for their real return or potential growth over the period that they hold them. It's just a store of that wealth over that long period of time. But just something that I've been considering lately around the amount of money that I have in precious metals compared to money in stocks and shares, and whether it's worth moving some money from precious metals into those higher returning assets for the long-term game. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below, whether you're holding even with the price increases of precious metals, or if you're more invested in stocks and shares over the precious metals. Let me know what you guys are doing down below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one.